working on her fourth speeches of her competent communicator. I
Dear Chipmasters, I am a person whom every friend is more than happy to sponsor a drink for. To bring you up to context in my speech, let me start with a couple of sentences from my icebreaker speech. Weekend parties were a norm here, and it took me some time to get used to them, but I'm glad I did. Let me tell you an incident. The first weekend I was here, I was at a party with some family friends, and you know what I was asked? You don't drink? How cool is that? Imagine that question being asked to a person who had never seen wine all her life except for in movies. I knew he was talking about the uncool factor in me. It's been an year to that speech, and here I stand talking about my teetotalism nature in the United States. For those who are wondering, teetotalism is a phrase used to describe complete abstinence from alcohol. Settled with a full time, used to seeing United States as a country I might settle in. I even developed some revolutionary traits that my mom does not quite approve of. For example, coming from an 80% vegetarian country, I have started trying out few types of meat. And coming from a highly orthodox family, I am learning belly dancing. But there's one thing to which I stand strong, and that is my non-drinking habits. Can I have a quick raise of hands of who all are with me and who don't drink? 2, 3, 4. So we are more unique than I thought of. And you all have been going through the same questions I usually go from. Really? Don't you think you are missing up on something? Aren't you curious? Come on, have a sip. Loosen up a little. It's in a party where all my friends are enjoying the acidity of wine and the refreshing bitterness of beer and apple cider, I happily sit and have my iced lemonade. Through this speech, I would be telling you a couple of reasons why I enjoy being a teetotaler in a country where alcohol is such a major part of fine dining and socialization. Alcohol is an essential part of socialization in the United States. And I have friends who drink. It's a common norm to spend Fridays and Saturdays getting drunk. It's just that it never appealed to me, so I kind of stayed away. The best part about socializing with people who are drinking and you're not is that you can loosen up with them, still being in full control of yourself, and you don't get up the next morning with crazy hangovers. I also realized in the professional world, the phrase, let's grab a drink, is more of a figurative phrase than actually going and taking a drink. It's just more easier to say a drink as compared to deep-fried mozzarella cheese sticks. The idea is to say, let's go out and hang out. Also, when you are hanging out with people and not actually drinking, you're making real-time friends and not just drinking buddies. Secondly, you don't have to drive back home drunk. That means less DUIs, and you have more friends since you are the designated driver. And thirdly, I have seen alcohol as a part of people's life, either as a celebration, as night outs to unwind from a stressful day, or just because it is a Friday or Saturday night. I enjoy all of these too, minus the enormous amount of spent money and the bad, terrible memories that it might leave behind. But there was a problem too. One of the problems that I face with not drinking alcohol is that alcohol is assumed to be a substance that frees you from your social inhibitions. And a person is more likely to say something they normally would think twice before saying. I realize that people are more uncomfortable with a person who is not drinking since they feel they are being judged. I had to get that straight. I am not a judgmental person. Not to a paralytically drunk, not to a sober, not to somewhere in between. I am there just to have a good time. You can chill and relax. I'm not going to ring you up next day and say, dude, do you remember last night? You behaved completely mental. I don't have a GoPro in my head somewhere to record all your activities. If you go to a party, if you go to a bar and you see a couple of friends sitting there, random group of friends, they are mostly just laughing around, discussing some work and relationship stuff, a little disjoint and goofy, but still nothing serious. Essentially, drinking is like a harmlessly obnoxious activity, but it is not harmful to anyone in most of the cases. In summary, I would say that drinking or non-drinking is a personal preference, and it should not be aligned to someone's behavior, or it should not govern a person's definition. It's as we do for religion. You are free to choose any religion, but you cannot demean any other religion. And in conclusion, I would only say that would I always be considered a self-righteous bore just because I am a teetotaler? Probably. Would teetotalism ever be accepted in the society? Probably not. But one thing is for sure. I am everyone's best friend when it comes to get a ride back home.